Hey guys, Vern. So I'm here in Dumaguete and I'm waiting for my Oppo cell phone to be repaired. I've got about 3 hours to kill, so I thought would be of an interest is to show you the hospitals in Dumaguete. Now I'm across the street from the Acer Hospital in Dumaguete, and this is about probably a little over a year old, and it's a very large hospital, so I'll show you the outside of it. Let's check it out.
Hey, Vern.
So this is called Ace Dumaguete is what it's called. And so this hospital is fairly new, and it's probably one of the larger hospitals, if not the new largest hospital in Dumaguete. I'm not sure if it's larger than Silliman, but we'll check it out. Now the crazy thing is all the outside walls were made with single hollow blocks. I watched them build this thing. So with all the COVID stuff, they're probably not gonna let me go in, but I at least want to show you the outside of what it looks like. It's across from the park here. You can kind of get an idea. It looks like they have an ambulance entrance here, which is great. On the upside here. Hello, sir. Mein hapon po. So it looks real nice. I'll have to look online to see what they do and don't do here. But I just want to give you an idea what the hospitals at least look like. I've got a little time to kill. It'll be 3 hours before my phone is repaired, so So it's nice that they have a pharmacy on site. The other big hospital, Silliman, they have a pharmacy on site too. So PhilHealth is the big health insurance here. I'm not sure how lucrative they are right now with all the stuff going on, but at least that's what they had going on. So you get an idea. I think there's a helicopter pad on the top. I'm not positive, but now they got an emergency thing going through here, so that's good. So when I came to the Philippines, I had a swollen testy issue and I needed to have some surgery done. And I went into Silliman University, which was the biggest hospital at the time, a private hospital. And they say the private hospitals, you get the best care. They're not paid by the government. And so I went in there, and the guy that fixed me up, he had studied and worked in New York and got his degree from over there. So there are people that are doing medicine here that have lived abroad, that have been OFWs. So that's something to consider. Looks like they're storing some of their emergency gear back in this field. So a lot of the fire department stuff that they have is pretty outdated. I've seen even fire trucks from the 1950s still being used in a big city, which is pretty weird. All right, so this is Silliman University. This is a teaching hospital, and it's fairly large, and they just added on to a bunch of parts of it. So this is where I went to have my surgery. So I'll let you see it. It's a pretty good hospital. I've had some friends that have come here too. All right, so this is the hospital itself. Now the thing at the hospital here, you got to pay before they'll let you leave. No outstanding bills. Otherwise, they can hold you hostage in the hospitals. Now, somebody said they're not supposed to, but they make sure that you get right to the bill counter before you leave. So that's one thing. Now, it's advised to have a PhilHealth. That way you can't be rejected if you do need something right away. Now, I think I stayed in this hospital overnight. It wasn't more than 2 nights. I'll talk about that in a minute or two. But I just want to give you an overview of what this hospital looks like. I got a pharmacy right here. I think there's 2 pharmacies, one in the middle and one in right by the end, unless they changed it. Oh, this is the new end. I guess they have a mini stop in here now. That's different. Didn't have that when I was here. This is the new section. Supposedly they're able to do more complicated things now than they were able to do before. Now this is something new, a full ambulance. I've never seen that here before. Usually the ambulances here are pretty simple with not much inside them. They should be okay. Triage. I'm not sure what that's all about. This is a COVID thing or what it is, I don't know. You kind of see what's going on anyway. Oh, this is our COVID thing. So you got to go through here before you can get in the entrance. Anyway, you have an idea of what it's like. So I think the patient rooms are up on this side here. That's where my friend stayed. I visited him here before. Anyway, that's hospital number 2. And this is a private hospital. They say you get the best care at the private hospitals because you're the one doing the paying. It's not a government pay. So all the Filipinos always say that they want to go to the... So why do Filipinos choose the private hospital over the public hospital? What's the benefit?
Benefit? Expensive.
It's more expensive?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the care better here? It is better. Okay. Better than government pay? Okay. Okay. Salamat po. Thank you. Pretty dang noisy out here. I'm trying to find a quiet place to do my vlog now. So we're just walking along here. All right, so this might be a little bit quieter. So before I came to the Philippines, I had a hernia that I had to have surgery on back in the US. Now, that was quite a deal for me. I'd never had a surgery and I was kind of scared to have that done. But I had it done and I survived and everything worked out. So when I came here, I had a swollen testicle issue and I had to have that operated on because it was getting pretty large. It wasn't going down and it wasn't getting any better. So I decided to have the surgery here at Silliman. And the reason I chose here is because I went to Cebu and I looked at a clinic in Cebu and the clinic was so dirty. It was at Chung Hao, which was supposed to be a really good hospital, but I went to their urologist there and the guy didn't even use a glove when he's touching the Sacagawea. And I looked around and I saw how dirty it was and I thought, I'm not having surgery by this guy. There's no way. And so I came back to Dumaguete and I had it here at the Silliman Hospital. Now, one thing that I was kind of shocked by is that when you come to a hospital here in the Philippines, they expect you to be connected to a family or a group of people that are there to help you and be with you through your stay and through your experience. Well, I'd only been here maybe a year and a half, and I didn't have any family here. And I was kind of dating off and on. And the girl I was seeing, she didn't have a means to get back and forth and help me. So I kind of was on my own. And they asked me at the hospital, who's here to take care of you? And I'm like, nobody, I'm on my own. And luckily they could pay somebody to be a runner for me to get me meds and stuff. Now, when the private rooms were all booked up, I had to share a room with 6 other patients. Now, it wouldn't have been bad if it was just 6 other patients, but it was 6 other family members with those patients, or 6 other patients with their family members is what I meant to say. And it wasn't just one family member, it was 3 or 4 at a time. You know, and the doctor come in and he wanted to check out my junk, and I'm like, not with all these people around and no curtain. I says, can you bring a curtain in? Can I have a little dignity in? You know, and even then people were looking over, leaning over, you know, and I'm like, this sucks. It was a really weird experience for me. But luckily the doctor that I had, he had trained in New York, so he was a good doctor. But yeah, it's different, the experience here that you're gonna have. And it may have been different if I had had a private room. It may have been different at a different hospital, but that was the experience that I had here. But everything worked out perfect with the surgery. It was a complete success. And I want to say it was only about $1,500 US to have that surgery. And that would have been probably $7,000, $8,000 in the US. So you can get a lot better deal on medical help here, but it's not going to be to the extreme high level standard that you're used to in maybe your first world country, unless you can go to maybe Manila or find a really high-end hospital in Cebu. But the smaller places, you know, I don't even know if they can do much for brain surgery here. They may be able to, but it's probably not something they do every day because few people can afford it. So keep that in mind when you come to the Philippines. If you plan to come here and you have a lot of medical issues, depending on what you have, you might want to choose someplace else or someplace near a really high-end hospital, okay? All right, so this is the public hospital here. I'll try to zoom in here a little bit. I was trying to avoid getting off my motorcycle, but this is the new wing that they just installed, the Provincial Hospital of Negros. Now, I'm not sure if the new part is actually set up and ready to go yet. I haven't been in there. But the last I heard about a year ago is they were still trying to get ready. So this, I think, is where you go for your health test if you want to leave. That's the screening area for your PRC test or your COVID test. So hopefully I won't have to do that here before I leave. But if we do, that's where I probably will go, Dumaguete. All right, guys, so this is the next hospital. This is probably the very newest hospital, the Negros Poly Medical Hospital, and this is just outside of Dumaguete in Cebulan. Now I'll give you a shot of this place. It looks pretty nice. I kind of get an idea. It's real nice here. Let's see if they're open yet. I'm not sure. They might not be open yet. That or they just are open for some procedures. We're gonna find out here. That's the guard. So it looks real nice. Air-conditioned rooms. So I don't know if this is a day hospital or what it is, but let's find out. Hello, Po. So this is a private hospital, right? Now, what kind of surgery do they do here? Do you know? What kind of surgery?
It is yet open.
Oh, it's not yet open. When will it open?
We don't know because you said they are waiting for the license to operate.
Oh, they're waiting for the license. Okay. But do you know what kind of things that they will do here or no?
No.
Not yet? Okay. But it looks nice. It looks like a nice hospital. Very nice. Okay, salamat po. Thank you. Looks nice. I'll show you in here. Looks like something that you'd find back in the U.S. It looks nice. Cool. All right, so here's the last hospital in Dumaguete. And I've heard this is a really good hospital. It's called Holy Child Hospital. So I've heard this is a good hospital. Now I can't remember if this is a private or a public hospital, but some people like this here. They prefer to go here. Why, I'm not really sure. I think they get good service. So that's what it looks like. All right. So it gives you a little bit of an idea what to expect. So now we're gonna go back and get our phone. We'll just kind of walk back. Oh, who's the shout out for?
Open Traveler YouTube channel.
Cool. I'll give you my card.